The member for Durack has the call.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I rise today to speak on the Geraldton Universities Centre model and the funding commitment in the budget to expand this model. Madam Deputy Speaker, you may not be aware, but this model has been funded with a $15 million commitment from the federal government to establish 6 new centres around the country. I've spoken a lot over the years about this model, and it's a real pleasure to be here today to talk about our recent commitment. The Geraldton Universities Centre, or the GUC model, allows country students to study at university level face-to-face in their own communities. And this is something that, quite frankly, Madam Deputy Speaker, those that live in the cities often take for granted. The extra cost and travel that country families have to absorb to send their children to one of the major metro areas to study is significant. And in many cases it means that those country students simply do not have the means to study their chosen field or study at all. Very sad that may be. This model allows for those country students to instead go to a general purpose learning area and study with a variety of courses with a full cohort of students at home, Madam Deputy Speaker. The model rejects the idea that all learning should be remote and external for these country children, and instead reinforces the idea that many students need that face-to-face interaction. I know personally I would never have got a tertiary education if I'd had to have studied externally, Madam Deputy Speaker, and this is in order to keep them activated and active in their area of study. Madam Deputy Speaker, there are several other towns in my massive electorate that would benefit from a model like this. Karratha, a town in the Pilbara where I visited last week, and I've spoken to several community leaders around the region and around town regarding the possibilities that this model could bring. The Pilbara, being the centre of the country's mining industry, could potentially become an engineering and skills hub. Why not? For universities looking to upskill their students and give them the best start at a job in the mining industry. But more than mining, a Pilbara University Centre could provide and train for the building blocks of a community. It could train local teachers and nurses and encourage them to work locally when they finish. We know, Madam Deputy Speaker, that doctors, for example, are 4 times more likely to go and work regionally if they are country kids themselves. So the more country kids we can get into higher education by providing it in their communities, the more trained and skilled young people we can encourage to live and work generally. Madam Deputy Speaker, as a proud regional Liberal member, I know that this potentially allows us to curb the brain drain away from the regional areas and breathe some life into those communities in our regional areas who are desperately in need of some new, skilled young people. And this is the value of the GUC model.
Thank the member for Durack.